The Weekend, Borderlands 3, Getting Down to 160 Pounds. Story 1. My wife is out of town for the weekend. I get the king bed and the pristine island of perfect, untouched middle mattress territory to myself. Edit. For what it's worth, people are confusing my excitement to stretch out and sleep with being happy that my wife is gone, which I am not. I do, in fact, miss her very much. But since I intend to sleep all weekend, I wanted to express the joy I felt as I anticipated melting into the unadulterated oasis of comfort foam aforementioned. Story 2. Getting a new bike and going to the gym for the first time. I spent the last couple of years pretty depressed at home without friends or real motivation to do anything. Now I'm doing better and will give this a shot. Story 3. When I wake up this upcoming morning, I will weigh myself. I checked my weight partway through the day today, and it was 160 pounds, which means I should be below 160 if I weigh myself tomorrow morning. This is the first time being under 160 since early high school. I am talking about United States pounds. Sorry about the confusion if there was any. We are at 158 pounds. I am going to start hitting the gym soon and try to cut those last few pounds and start building up. Story 4. I met a girl last weekend that I thought was pretty great. Funny, sarcastic, lots of back and forth banter, and like a Carolina sunrise to the eyes. We've been texting and talking on the phone more than expected, and she invited me on their family boat this coming weekend to go sailing. I'm pretty excited to see her again. Thanks for all the advice and implication jokes. I've been on boats plenty of times, so I'll definitely help and pull my weight, if not more, when it comes to cleaning and whatnot when given the chance. I'll be taking whiskey for her dad and wine for her mom. Confirmed through a mutual friend that they both like their alcohol and to have fun. Story 5. Last half of September off, a week alone at the cottage to cap it all. I'm taking the 2 weeks or so to record as much of my original material as possible. I'll hopefully be taking the best of the litter and making a full band album by the new year. In November, I'm making an actual, real step forward musically and starting to perform my original material. I used to a long time ago, got into bands and ignored my personal output, and lately I've gotten the itch again. So why not? I'm also planning to buy a house next year. There's that as well. Story 6:3 and 30 seconds PM when I can go home and take my kids to the pool. March, when my wife and I fly with my best friend of 20 years to Australia to be the best man at his wedding. I don't have a time scale, but when my son finally gets past the bullying he's dealing with and his life becomes joyful again. Story 7. I've been out of the dating game for a long time, like 4 years. I just went on my first date with a super adorable, foul-mouthed, punky girl who I actually really enjoyed being around, and she made sure I had her phone number before we said goodnight. I can't wait to keep seeing her. I haven't been optimistic about my romantic prospects in a long time, so this is kind of a big deal for me. Edit. Second dates tomorrow. She asked to carpool. Story 8. I'm in Europe, taking my first motorcycle driver's education class in October. So excited to get out on the road and get the license, buy a nice beginner's motorcycle, and have a bunch of fun driving it around. Story 9. Diet, work, study, skate. Got to hold the line and push like crazy. Met a girl in class today. She is super smart. We will see if something can happen. Mostly, I am finally living up to my ability after years of spinning in circles. Currently at the bottom of the hill, but being tired does not scare me anymore. I will push until I am empty, then see what I turn into. Story 10. My wife is in England for work right now. This will be the longest time we have been apart in our 9 years of marriage. I bought my plane ticket to fly there at the end of this month, and we plan to explore England and Scotland for 2 weeks. It will be our first international vacation ever. Story 11. Going to pick up my girlfriend from the airport after she has been abroad for way too long. She doesn't know it. My heart rate is legitimately increasing as I write this. What the heck? Story 12. Looking forward to making our first releasable song with my brother. Not sure when that is going to happen, but I am definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully within a year. Story 13. I am starting my internship part of medical school in the European Union in November. But before that, I have a 5-week trip coming up to Egypt, Jordan, and Israel. I have been playing Civilization for ages, and I am so incredibly excited to see all those world wonders, especially Petra, for those incredible desert tile yields. Story 14. Splurged a bit on some Magic. The Gathering cards should be coming in soon. Going to my local card shop on Friday so my friend can help me upgrade my decks. Moving to Italy in a couple of weeks to start a master's program. Story 15. In no particular order, a portrait of my very first Dungeons & Dragons character that I've commissioned. I really like this character despite or because of him being a nerdy healer of the group, and I want him to be remembered. Cyberpunk 2077. I like the cyberpunk aesthetics and I'd really like it if the game ended up being great. Losing about 10 kilograms. Due to work-related reasons, I have put on a bit of weight, so I want to fix this. Developing the relationship I have right now into something that can last for many decades, with both me and her being happy. We both like each other and have relatively similar interests, and I think we have good chemistry. I want it to work out. My country becoming better in all aspects, but especially the financial one. There isn't much reasoning. I just live here and want the place where I live to be a good one. Discovery or invention of an unlimited energy or power source. I just think that it would benefit humanity. Story 16. I'm in Hong Kong working on a photography book about the protests. I've been here for 8 days and will be for another 2 weeks. I am looking forward to going back to America because, as much as I feel that the work I am doing is important, I am worried about the stress it is putting on my family, specifically my mom. After I attend a wedding and see her, I am coming back here 5 days later. This project is just my life now. Story 17. Football season starts today. The Packers are my team, and I'm excited to see them finally play. The Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta starts next week, and I can't wait to play that. I'm going to watch it Chapter 2 on Friday with my girlfriend. That's going to be fun. I just bought Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch and have been having a blast. Looking forward to playing before school. Story 18. We bought a house this year, our first, so we basically accepted we weren't going on any holidays. Then our friends, who have just had their first baby, asked if we wanted to go on a low-key trip to the coast for a week instead of a bigger trip. So, I finish my job in a week's time and then we go away for that. And I'm so looking forward to my first holiday of the year before starting a new job. Story 19. I am hitting 6 months of sobriety on September 10th, and I couldn't be happier. I am excited to hit the 6-month mark and then the year shortly afterward. So many positive changes, and I hope they keep coming. Story 20. Blood test results. The girl I have talked about a few times said yes to a relationship. If we are both clear, we are going to have sex without a condom. I have not done it raw in years. Fooled around, hired escorts, but always been covered. My first raw experience in about 3 years. My first girlfriend in 3 years. Story 21. Girlfriend is moving out. We're not breaking up, though. We're taking the time to become better people. We've been together since 17. Now we're 25. I'm excited to have my own place. I had to buy a new mattress and now I'm buying other household stuff. You can really lose your sense of self while in a relationship. I'm looking forward to the changes. Story 22. My wife and I are expecting to have our first child in about 5 months. I'm really nervous about how my wife will handle it all, how we'll manage financially, and how awkward I am with babies. However, I'm super excited to raise my own little human and start a family. It's a pretty big deal to us. My wife and I don't see our families very often, so it'll be kind of cool starting our own little family. Big change. Story 23. Sounds a bit frustrating typing it out, but getting home from my family holiday and having some alone time with my PlayStation 4. Newsflash. Parenting a toddler is not easy, folks, especially in a country that's extremely hot. Story 24. I am finally in a place where I can care about the quality of food I provide and make for my family. It's an amazing feeling to finally be able to pay bills on time and buy that organic milk, berries, yogurt, or whatever for my child. I still have a long way to go regarding savings, but I'm proud of how far we've come. Story 25. bucket list item. Going to Giza and seeing the pyramids in October. I am so looking forward to this. Does anyone have tips or advice while there? Story 26. I have a couple of goals and dreams that are finally becoming a reality. I've told myself at my age, 26, that anything I've wanted to try over the years, I need to do it now. I bought a mountain bike and started riding occasionally, started up a clothing line and brand, and recently was contacted to do a podcast. So I'm excited about all of that on top of not financially struggling anymore. Feels nice, and I'm looking forward to what the next few years have in store. Story 27. I'm currently having a new bike specified, and it's really exciting. I got back into cycling fairly recently, but have finally ridden enough to know what I really want from a bike, and I'm having one built up from the frame. It'll mostly be unnecessary for my short commute, but I'm really looking forward to taking it out and going for multi-day rides. Story 28. Going to the pub with some friends I haven't seen in a while. I'm coming out of depression, and this is the first time I'm actually excited to see people instead of being horribly anxious. Feels good. Story 29. I graduate from nursing school in 6 months. My boyfriend got a job halfway across the country when I first started, so I'll be looking for my first job where he is. I miss him a lot, so I can't wait to see him more. Also, I'm excited to be a nurse. Story 30. Ending my bulk cycle and seeing how much weight, hopefully all muscle, I have put on. It's not going very well because of some injuries, but I have been consistent with my diet for 3 weeks now. Story 31. I currently have 2 career opportunities that are a pretty big step forward. I will be moving out in a couple of months, and I am busy training to become a traveling guide. Story 32. Passing my driver's exam for my motorcycle license is currently at the top. The sooner it's done, the more time I've got to test drive different bikes before winter comes, and then I can start saving for what I want. Story 33. I injured my finger and have not been able to play the guitar for almost a month now. It is getting better, and I hope to be playing again by this time next week. Story 34. I'm looking forward to my new computer components showing up tomorrow. I have big nerd plans, and I'm very excited. I'm hoping for the best because United Parcel Service is in charge of delivery, and they have been less than reliable in the past. Story 35. My wife's birthday is tomorrow, and I told her to take the month off work so we could work on the house. I'm paying a contractor to work on the house and secretly taking her to Africa, then Paris as a birthday and anniversary gift. Story 36. My birthday is next Monday, and honestly, I'm really looking forward to hopefully receiving birthday messages, especially those which include my name in them. Happy birthday, you this read right? It makes me feel so much happier, as it feels like they mean it, and I really enjoy it if my friends actually wish me a happy birthday in person. Honestly, that is my favorite part of birthdays, and it really makes my week. I know it's kind of sad, but I'm not someone who gets much attention, and as much as I like having alone time, I enjoy when there is some attention on me, as it doesn't make me feel useless and that others might care about me. Story 37. Short term. Work should slow down and only last a couple of weeks. Long term. Patch 8.2.5 in World of Warcraft and a new expansion for retail. Also, I've been really working on myself after learning about myself and experiencing a failed marriage and another failed relationship. Dating doesn't really sound interesting to me, but I'm on the path to happiness, and that's all that matters to me. Story 38. I am on vacation with my sister in Europe for 2 weeks. We leave in a couple of days, and I am so excited to go home and see my girlfriend. I am being really impatient right now. I just want to be back with her. Story 39. Finally leaving my unpleasant job and moving across the country. I have given my notice, have the trip planned, and have housing arranged for when my wife and I get there. Just counting down the days. Story 40. Konosuba movie gets subtitled and meeting up with an online friend soon. Also, finally getting out of my high school and starting to work for the New York Police Department. I will be the local anime fan cop soon. Story 41. I will give you one big and one small. The small one is I'm looking forward to trying Tyranny, a new-to-me game that I just picked up in a Humble Bundle for just over $4. First, I'll have to finish my current run of Saints Row 4, but I'm hoping Tyranny is as good as everyone says. The big thing I'm looking forward to is marrying my fiancée. Even though our plan is 4 years out, it still makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside just thinking about calling her my wife. Story 42. I live with my dad and stepmom in Wales, but in October I'm moving in with my grandma in southern England, which also happens to be where my entire family on both sides lives. I've been depressed for quite a while, but the prospect of moving away has made me realize just how sad I've been here. Story 43. I've started playing classic World of Warcraft again, from the original version. I was nervous because none of my real-life friends are as hardcore as I am, so I was nervous about playing solo. I found 2 guys that I play with every night, and it is a lot of fun. It makes work a lot more enjoyable because I have people I can talk to but don't have to. Story 44. Moved into my new house in another continent yesterday. I can't wait until my cats and I are reunited and all of my stuff gets shipped to me. Right now, all I have is a suitcase and I got a mattress yesterday. Story 45. Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen, because I was a huge EverQuest nerd back in the day. Star Citizen, because if they actually do what they say they are doing, wow. Story 46. Next week, specifically a trip to New England. Friday, we drive to Plymouth, Massachusetts, for my fiancé's uncle's wedding. The whole family is renting a house on Airbnb next to the venue, and it's going to be very fun. Wedding on Saturday, dinner party on Sunday, and then on Monday, my fiancé and I are going to drive up to Maine to go camping in Acadia National Park until Thursday. One of the days, we are taking a boat to Isle Haut, which is a remote island with a population of about 24 people. We're also going to try to climb something called the Beehive Trail, which is a steep trail with ladders nailed into the side of it that has epic views. The whole week is going to be great. Also, not that this is exactly on par with the rest of the trip, but I'm really eager to try out my new camping stove.